This video is all about my book and the way I want to change the education system. Let me pose you a question. What makes you, you? Obviously, we all have our own personal preferences, our own likes, our own dislikes, but when we're children, we are sponges soaking up the world around us. As children, we are not built with these sort of ideas or beliefs. Those kind of develop over time from society. And a large part of the reason why children develop in the way they do is the education system. The education system is literally the foundation for how kids and people these days get information, learn how to talk, learn how to read, and learn how to become humans in society. If we didn't have the education system, we would be no different than the other animals walking around this earth. If a human grew up with a chimpanzee and never met another human, he would have no notion of talking, he would have no notion of reading a book. He would be almost like that animal because that's all he knows. What I'm trying to say is that school grows the human mind. It is literally the foundation of the intellect across every crack of society. Without it, we would be nothing more than animals. Now, entertain me just for a moment. Imagine two 17-year-old guys in high school. What do you think of? You probably think of them filling out their college applications. You probably think of it as being a turning point in their lives for their dreams to become realized. Now let me divulge a little bit more. One of them is a star student. He has a 4.0 GPA. He plays the piano. He is literally the definition of what a successful student going into a college is. He has his sights set on Johns Hopkins University. He has already gotten loans for it. That student is going to become a surgeon. He is going to make a lot of money in his life, and he is kind of doing exactly what his parents wanted him to do. He is going to live a nice life. He's going to go to a great school, and he's really made his family and friends proud. The other one has a 2.9 GPA, which is not far off from what I personally had in high school. He doesn't really see the point of going to classes. He feels like there's so much more outside of school. He does his homework the exact same day while he's in school. He doesn't really pay attention in class. He has maybe crazy ADHD or something else. He does not have maybe a lot of money to then pay for colleges, to help support himself. He is kind of the definition of someone who is not doing well in school, who is not a good student, and who probably will not amount to anything. He's treated like one of those kids who just simply doesn't care and does not want to go places in life. And because of that, he's not given the same attention and support as the other one who has a 4.0. Now you may have a different idea of these two kids now than you did earlier. One is a model student, he has great grades, he's going to a great school, and the other one needs to get his act together. He needs to be able to become a better student, become a better person, because he is not doing well in life right now. Now let me tell you a secret. Both of these kids were best friends in elementary school. They had dreams of starting a company together, of doing big things, and in the past few years they hadn't even been able to talk to each other, let alone look at each other. What happened? What kind of made those dreams fall apart? The short answer is our education system failed them, but in very different ways. As they're both about to realize, the education system that we have today does not really nurture brilliance. Kids are forced to waste time memorizing information that they're going to end up forgetting a month afterwards anyway. Intelligence is measured by tests that encourage false learning, and their creativity is smothered in a world that is so rapidly advancing, and they're stuck in a classroom trying to keep up with the past when in reality they're skipping out on their futures. School is like a chore in a business plan, and people cling to it because that's the safe bet. That's the one that they know will at least give them some hope of money in the future. And kids will literally sacrifice their childhoods, their dreams, because of this safe bet. School is terrifying. I mean, kids should want to go to school, should want to learn, should want to be excited about preparing themselves for their future. But in reality, kids are just distraught with the education system. They cannot find themselves, and the ones who do not have the ability to go in and memorize tests, or who have ADHD, or who are not good at standardized testing, whatever it may be, they fail. When in reality, most of those kids are no less smart than the ones who are able to put up with the system. It's the fact that they are different types of learners that the education system just happens not to cater to. Something needs to change, and all it takes is two guys out there wanting to change the system to really make an impact on the world. Now, where could they be hiding? As you may or may not have picked up on, this is the premise for a book I'm writing. I'm super excited about it. It's something I've really wanted to do for a long time. I've had this outlined together for a long time, but in general, I feel like there are so many flaws with our education system today. If you're a student and you're watching this, hopefully you agree with me. I think that the way the system is set up is so flawed. I went through the education system in high school. I'm actually going back to college. I am someone who does have ADHD, and I do have a hard time with putting up the way the education system works. I did not get good grades. I was so curious about the world around me that I rarely spent time actually studying for classes and tests that I did have. I was too busy trying to actually learn more about the real world and learn more about the future that it ultimately failed me. The reason I wanted to write this book is because not only do I think that this is a super important topic and a lot of kids can learn about the education system and maybe some ways we can improve it, but I also think that it can provide an opportunity for kids to have kind of a new superhero. When I say a new superhero, when you think about kind of Marvel or any of the other comic book series where you see the kind of classic superhero who saves the world, I'd really like to make a series of books that are focused on kind of saving the world, but with real world problems, whether it's solving the education system, whether it is trying to provide a solution to world hunger. I basically want to make a similar type of company to Marvel, but with the idea being that real world problems being solved by these fictional characters. And hopefully the way that they propose these problems in the books can actually be something we end up trying. I'll get into more about actually writing the book and the team and everything we have going on, but in short, the idea for the book is write it, put it out there, maybe make it into a movie or TV show if we can secure that kind of funding, and then actually try and see if we can set up a test school based on the premise of this fictional book. I'm super excited to share more with you, but that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Today's post notification shout out goes to Rebecca Canofri. Rebecca, thank you so much for having your post notifications on. If you want your own post notification shout out, all you have to do is comment down below done after you've turned on the bell and after you subscribed. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I will see you back here tomorrow. Peace.